Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fantastic Nature Adventures. I'm gonna make this intro really quick. Basically, me and my girlfriend, when we were down in Tennessee, we found an eastern box turtle, which I'd only seen in the wild on like a class field trip, on my herpetology field trip in college. That's the only time I saw a wild eastern box turtle before this. So this is the first time I actually saw a wild eastern box turtle, like I just said like 3 different times. And I didn't actually know that it was an eastern box turtle. I thought it was like a different species because, you know, I was down in the south. It actually looked a little bit different than the ones I see up in the northeast as well. So it just looked a little bit different. And I was kind of like, I don't really know what kind of species this is. So you'll see in like the immediate raw footage that I didn't really know what it was. But it is an eastern box turtle. I'll get into, in the episode, I'll get into why it's the same species as the ones I see up in the northeast. But yeah, it's an eastern box turtle. Hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. I didn't know too much, so obviously I'm going to do some voiceover at the end, talking a little bit more about the eastern box turtle. But yeah, and so hopefully you guys enjoy this episode about the eastern box turtle. We got a box turtle out here. I don't know the species of box turtle, I'll be real. I don't want to get too close because basically once they get close, it'll just completely tuck in its shell. And box turtles have a special thing with their shells where they have like a literal hinge on their shell. So it literally, instead of the turtle's neck just retracting, their neck will retract, and then they'll also go, the shell will also close in. It's a good size one too.
And we were just driving on the road and then...
Yeah, we were exploring like this waterfall area.
Okay, you can catch him now.
Can I catch him?
Yeah.
Alright, what happens? His shell is just gonna close at the door. So, unless he's not so scared. Oh, okay. Oh, no, here we go.
Wow. Hold him just like that.
Okay, so usually he'd be tucking into his shell, but you know, it depends on the individual with turtles. Some of them are less scared than others, and some will just keep their body out of the shell. But if he gets really scared, he will tuck his head in like that. If I put my hand like in front of his head, he might feel particularly threatened and he might tuck in his neck. It's beautiful, that yellow. I can tell that it's a male because it has red eyes. Actually, in my herpetology class, the males have red iris. Okay guys, so it's time for me to tell you guys a little bit more about the eastern box turtle after I've done a little bit more research. I apologize honestly about not knowing a ton about all the animals I find. Honestly, a lot of the times when I find these animals, I just haven't really encountered them before. That's why I make videos on them. Usually, if I've already found them before, then I probably already made a video on them. And, I do know a decent amount about animals, I think, but obviously I don't know every single little piece of information, so obviously I think it's always good to, like, kind of educate you guys even more than I initially know in the field about these animals. So let me just start off by explaining what even is an eastern box turtle. So the eastern box turtle is a subspecies, actually. It's not its own species, it's a subspecies of the common box turtle, Terrapene carolina, and the eastern box turtle is kind of the most widespread subspecies of that turtle species, the common box turtle. So the eastern box turtle lives all over the eastern United States. So the eastern box turtle actually lives all the way from southern Maine, not that far from where I go to school, all the way down to the Florida Panhandle, and then further west to the Mississippi River, and then yeah, so that whole kind of northeast, southeast Midwest area. And yeah, basically it is a pretty common species of turtle. It's seen relatively frequently. However, they have recently, the IUCN in the past 10 years has recently downgraded their population status from near threatened to vulnerable because their population has apparently decreased around 30% in recent years. So not too great, but yeah, they're still actually relatively common, I would say. They're pretty common, like sort of like a staple Eastern North America or Eastern United States species. So why did I not realize that it was an Eastern box turtle? So I'm gonna put up a picture right now of an eastern box turtle, or the eastern box turtle that I saw on my herpetology field trip last spring. So you can see it right here. And obviously they don't look too different, but you know, the coloration threw me off a little bit, honestly. But the biggest thing for me was actually the head. So the head of this turtle was like almost all yellow, and the other turtle that I had found on my field trip was, I think, more like a black head. So I was like, wait a second, why is the head so brightly yellow? Like, this must be a different species. But actually, they are the same species. Eastern box turtle and other box turtle subspecies as well, but especially the eastern box turtle, have a very, very wide range of different color patterns. Basically, as long as they're kind of black, mostly black or brown, with either a yellow or an orange kind of like spotting or streaks or speckling, they can be kind of any different pattern. Some of them are like super, super bright yellow. Some of them are almost like all black. So they can have all sorts of different colorations. This one was almost kind of leaning towards the almost all black part, except for on the head, which was very, very brightly yellow. But yeah, I just got a little bit confused because I was like, wait a second, this one is a different color, it must be a different species. But that's obviously not how it worked. You know, there's a lot of other species of herps that are like that too, like for instance the eastern rat snake. There's like black rat snake, gray rat snake, yellow rat snake, but they're all in the same species. They're just different sort of color variations, different morphs of the same species, kind of. And finally, one more thing that I thought was actually pretty cool was, because I found this box turtle in Tennessee, I was looking up the different state reptiles of, you know, different states, and the eastern box turtle is actually the state reptile for North Carolina and Tennessee, which is pretty cool because, you know, I found the species in its own kind of state, if that makes sense, which I thought was pretty cool too. So anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I don't know the next time I'm going to be making any more episodes, because that's kind of the last really cool herp I was able to film when I was in Tennessee. I'm going to go back up to school very, very soon. So yeah, guys, you know, stay tuned. Hopefully I'm going to be making some more videos soon when I'm up in Maine. I know it's a little bit colder up there, but it does stay like relatively warm, like in the 60s and 70s, up until like mid-October. So there's still some, you know, a window of time for me to film some more stuff. And yeah, so hopefully I will make some cool stuff up there if I can. And yeah, just stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, learned a bit about the eastern box turtle. I know I learned a bit about the eastern box turtle, which is pretty cool. And yeah, stay tuned for a new episode coming hopefully within like the next month or two. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.